Memento. It's directed by Christopher Nolan and it stars Guy Pearce in the leading role of Leonard. And essentially this is the film that really put Christopher Nolan in the spotlight, really highlighted and sort of gained him recognition as a filmmaker. And it's essentially about this guy called Leonard, played by Guy Pearce, who is trying to look for his wife's killer, but he doesn't have a good memory. He forgets, he has very bad short-term memory, so he forgets a lot of stuff. And so he has to get tattoos all over his body to essentially remind him of what he's trying to achieve. And this film is actually quite divisive because some people say it's his best film and some people say it's a confusing mess. I think that Memento is a film that needs to be watched quite a few times to be understood, because on the first viewing I didn't really understand the film. After a couple of times I really got a grasp of what Nolan was trying to do and appreciated the film a lot more. And now I do kind of see why people say that it's his best film, although I don't think it is. Easily the best thing about this film is how complex it is, and I think a lot of that is due to the way that the film was written, directed and edited, because this is a really weirdly edited film. It's done in a non-chronological order, but kind of in a chronological order, but it's kind of, and then it's very confusing. If you watch the film then you know exactly what I mean. And in fact it's actually a version, if you buy like the special edition of the disc of the movie, there's actually a version which is actually edited in chronological order. I haven't seen it, but apparently there is one. And I'm not just talking about the complexity of the film, I'm talking about the complexity of the characters, because Guy Pearce's Leonard is probably my favourite original character that Christopher Nolan and his brother Jonathan Nolan, who wrote the original story for this, has ever created, because he's so incredibly deep and so complex and he feels like a real person. And I think that the best characters in movies or TVs or in books or in anything are the ones whose motivations you don't always necessarily agree with, but you understand. And that is just completely evident in Guy Pearce's Leonard. And Guy Pearce gives the best performance of his career in this film. He's absolutely great. Carrie-Anne Moss is also in this film. She's absolutely great and she actually complements Guy Pearce's character really well. Also, going back to the way Christopher Nolan directed the film, it was very evident that he was trying to go for something a little bit more unconventional, because again, the way that the camera is used and the way that the film is cut together is extremely different from other films of its genre, and that's actually really good because that's what sets this film apart from other mystery drama thrillers. And I'm going to keep this review quite short and simple because I think it's best to go into this movie completely blind, and even though the film has been out for almost like 17 years, I don't really want to spoil the film for you guys. I want you guys to go into it with a sort of a fresh take on the film. And so there is like kind of a twist, but it's kind of confusing at the same time. And that's probably my biggest flaw with this film, is that some people don't like watching movies, twice or three times or however many times, like more than once. And so I think that on like one viewing is not enough, definitely, for this film. Like I said, to completely understand this film, you need to watch it multiple times. And because of that, I think that after watching it the first time, I think that the twist and the ending didn't really work for me, for the simple fact that I didn't really understand everything leading up to it. And so that was probably the biggest flaw with this film, is the fact that it does at times feel a little bit unnecessarily confusing. But aside from that, Memento is an extremely brilliant, absolutely complex and deep film with brilliant performances, brilliant direction, and I'm going to give Memento an A. Guys, thank you ever so much for watching. As always, thank you.